Oh my gosh, run! Just run!
Bravo is now held by your team. You're holding all 3 control points. Excellent.
Boost about to activate.
Hey guys, Drewski here, and today we're going to be talking about a little bit of conflict PvP within the Division 2. First off, there's 2 game modes within conflict. There's skirmish and domination. Skirmish is your standard team deathmatch, and it's the first to reach, I think, 0 respawns. You have a total of 16 respawns per team, and it's a 4v4, so that's a pretty interesting game mode there. But the game mode I like a lot more is domination. Domination forces players to continually move around the map because there's 3 different objectives around the map. Usually the objectives are laid out in a linear fashion, so the blue team spawn is right beside A, B is in the center, and then C is near the red team spawn. I like this game mode because it really tries to force the team together as one. I have rolled a few games with this, just with the entire squad of 4 guys roaming around the map. It's really fun to play this mode, but also it's really fun to pull off crazy flanks and comebacks in this mode as well. And although we know how domination usually plays out in other games, in the Division 2, it's definitely a better playing game mode than skirmish. So when the little vote thing pops up, always click on domination, trust me. Before we get into the details, Ubisoft and Xbox supported me in this video, and they wanted me to tell you that you can get the game down in the description down below. There's a little linksy doodle there, just click on that one. For my weapons for this mode, I've definitely leaned towards LMGs. Now I am playing on console, so gameplay might be a little bit different from console to PC, and strategies might be a little bit different as well, but most definitely I like the M60. It's a great PvP weapon because in this game, reloads are death. When you have to reload mid-fight, you might as well not. That's why I also have the shield as my skill ability, so that when I run out of ammo, I can just pop a shield and a pistol up and be ready to go with another weapon entirely. Reloads are just death. You want non-stop hits on the enemy no matter the weapon. That's what really counts for killing a person as quick as possible. And usually in this game, you're in one-on-one or one-on-2 fights where you really have to just put as much damage down as possible against another person. Sometimes you both come around a corner, sometimes you both surprise each other, and something like the M60 is definitely a weapon that is good for those situations. As a secondary, I definitely like shotguns or SMGs. I prefer shotguns most of all, though, just because if someone is really close, or you know that you're about to go approach somebody right at their back or something, if you're right behind somebody with like a double-barreled shotgun, it's seriously 2 shots and they're dead. It's so quick, so easy to get someone like that. And so having a quick kill weapon like that, just to be able to ambush somebody from behind and kill them very quick, is definitely something that's rather necessary. The M60 isn't perfect for that. It does take time to kill, and most of the time, because of the lower accuracy of that weapon, you're going to be not exactly getting headshots unless you're like 5 or 8 feet away. For the LMG, I like it because it's a good all-round weapon. You can still use it for long-distance fire because you have so much ammo. You can use that accuracy by volume of rounds to really hit long-distance targets away. But it also gives you enough ammo capacity that in those chaotic close-quarter moments, you have enough ammo to take up 2 players, maybe 3 players, and that's definitely been done before. What's interesting to me is that you get 2 nades and 2 heals per life, and on each respawn as well, your abilities get refreshed. So your turret that you can place down, your shield that you can pop up, or whatever ability you have, your assault drone as well, those are the abilities that just get refreshed on every single life. In skirmish, this is definitely a good mechanic, I think, because in skirmish, your life matters. Your respawn counts towards your team losing. So you don't want to die in skirmish at all, because dying is literally what wins or loses the game mode. In domination, though, this doesn't affect anything. If you die in domination, you're just slowing yourself down by about 20 seconds until you get back into the fight. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of something that I think should be changed to really make the game mode competitive, because in domination, the moment I ran out of 2 grenades and 2 heals, I just instantly would run towards the enemy, let them kill me. If I had a good break, if I could, and my team was on their own objectives, I would run straight towards the enemy, let them kill me, and then respawn with 2 grenades and 2 heals again. So basically, in domination, where deaths don't matter, you can just use this to refill your ammo and reset all of your abilities. Talking about abilities, I definitely like the throwable assault turret. It does a lot of damage if you surprise somebody, and if you throw it in a good spot like the top of a car in the middle of a street, it really does have a good point of view, and it can take out players at very long distances away. Assault drones, I see a lot of players using these, but really, they don't really do much. I've only been killed by an assault drone once, and most of the time they just annoy you with a lot of loud sounds. But they do also give the player a good idea of where you are, because the player can send an assault drone to come and attack you. He can right button press on your body, and the drone will come and follow you around, and you can even run around corners, and it'll chase you around corners to be able to shoot you. And again, they don't do much damage, but they do just allow the enemy to know exactly where you are, because they can see exactly what their drone is following. So you want to take these out as quick as possible when you're not in a fight. But if you're in a fight, don't even worry about these things. If you're directly shooting at the player, don't even think to shoot up at the assault drone, because it's not worth it. You want to do as much damage to the player as possible. If you kill the player, the assault drone dies with the player. The throwable assault turret does a little bit more damage than the assault drones, and so if you set it up in a good spot, it can really kind of suppress and command an entire area, because it does do more damage per second than the assault drones do. As well as it can be a lot farther away, and players don't really notice it during a lot of combat sequences because it's farther away, and therefore it's a little bit quieter. It's not directly in their face and following their character around, so they might not notice that they're being hit by it a lot of times. The second ability that I prefer the most is the Deflector shield. Now, I don't know if this is actually the best, but I had a lot of fun with this once I noticed that a lot of people were using the half shields. A lot of people use the half shields, which is definitely a great ability. You can put your standard assault rifle on top of a half shield and shoot right through it, and you have a great form of protection as well as a great form of killing other players, which is definitely good to have. That half shield is pretty dang good. When you come around a corner and you have somebody face to face, the best thing to do is have one of the shield abilities, because then you can easily block all their shots and maintain shots on them. If they don't have a shield ability in a 1v1, like come around the corner, close quarter fight, that is something that they're going to lose most of the time if you have a shield. So everybody uses the half shields, but I actually really like the Deflector shield, because a lot of people don't even notice that you're using a Deflector shield when you pop it out. They think it's a half shield, so they still try to spray as many bullets into you as possible. I've had a lot of times where I pop out the Deflector shield, which what it does, it just deflects bullets straight back towards whatever you're aiming at. So if a player shoots at you, you are deflecting the bullets that they shot at you straight back at them. And you might only have a pistol, but the thing is that they're spraying a full auto M60 basically at themselves. As long as you can keep your aim on the target of the person in front of you, shooting them with your pistol as you're deflecting back their rounds, you're going to win those close quarter fights. It's crazy how fast you can kill people with this, because you're shooting them basically with a pistol as well as whatever their gun is at the same time. Players just don't know how to fight it yet. It's quite funny, because as long as you're aiming towards a person, you're going to win the fight. I haven't even fought against a single other player in the 3 days that I've been playing this conflict mode. I haven't fought another person that has the Deflector shield. Nobody uses it, and it's not even a bad shield at all. I think the full shield is actually worse, because it just protects you, but you're not able to really do much damage output, so players are going to overwhelm you and get around that shield pretty quickly. And that's why I like the Deflector shield itself, because it's not just a blunt force damage protector thing, it also has some skill-based stuff to it. It's obviously the highest skill ceiling shield you can get in the game, because it doesn't just require you to aim roughly towards the enemy to block bullets, but it also requires you to aim directly on the enemy to reflect the bullets back towards them so that they can get injured as well. But in some of the maps and in some situations, it's very, well, situational, and in some locations you're not going to have that close quarters ability to be able to easily reflect the rounds back towards them. That is where shields kind of lose their effectiveness, is that long distance firefight. In a long distance firefight, you have enough time to actually take hard cover and be able to use your primary weapons, your turrets, your assault drones. All that sort of other stuff comes into play for longer range combat, let's say down a street. Some of the maps have very, very long corridors down roads, and sometimes that long distance firefight is going to happen more commonly than the close quarters firefights with a shield. This is where verticality is everything as well. Some of the maps have rooftops that you can get onto on top of the buildings, and these rooftops are really hard to really push, especially on skirmish. The best strategy to play skirmish with is get onto a rooftop with 4 people and then just try to hold it as best you can, because if you're killing the enemy team 1 kill at a time, they'll respawn only 1 person at a time, and they're going to try to rush your rooftop 1 at a time. And if you have 4 of your teammates up on a single roof all in the same spot, it's a very, very formidable force. I mean, the other team will literally have to organize, which is kind of rare. The other team will have to organize an assault from all directions all at once to really be able to take you out. And again, you'll run out of medkits and you'll run out of nades eventually, so that's something on skirmish that kind of gives the enemy team an ability against you when you're defending a location. But I still have had some insanely long defenses on top of a single rooftop before that were a lot of fun. But also, those rooftops usually will have some sneaky flank routes that you can get surprised on, and you can get killed pretty quick if you're not careful. So on skirmish, for sure, stay with your team as much as possible. The team play on that game mode is everything, because you're just trying to protect each other and have as many targets together as possible to make sure that the enemy can't just take one of you out and single yourselves out very easily. They have to come against your whole team to kill one of your people. On domination, though, you can easily spread out. I've seen a lot of teammates go with each other, and what happens is that they do defend themselves rather well, but the game mode, the quest or the objective of your team isn't just to defend yourselves, but it's primarily to take the objective points that are located, the control points that are located on the map. So a lot of people will focus on like, hey, I need to not die, even though they don't realize that the actual way to win the game is to get the domination points and just don't even care about your own life. So spreading out and trying to rush and flank those like certain domination points and trying to get around the enemy as much as possible in domination is how you win that game mode in particular. So guys, that'll be it for today's tips and tricks on the conflict PvP mode in the Division 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.